MotorCast, the latest in automotive news. Brett Wharf here with you on WBKR.com each and every Thursday at 5:30. It's all brought to you by Diesel Up, Next Level Diesel Performance, 3247 Commerce Drive in Newburgh. Been a couple weeks, but we're back talking about General Motors. They're still sitting at 29 million recalled cars, but let's take a look at the big picture here. We see that GM still sitting at 29 million. 29 million cars that have something wrong with them or have a part that isn't working in perfect running order. But GM isn't even close to being the only company that has defects. Let's take a look. We know the GM cars, Buick, Cadillac, Chevrolet, Geo, GMC, Hummer, Oldsmobile, Opel, Pontiac, and Saturn. But what about the other cars that are on the list as well for something that have, problems? The list isn't very long, so we'll just breeze through it. Ford, Lincoln, Mercury, Toyota, Lexus, Hyundai, Daihatsu, Chrysler, Dodge, Ram, Jeep, Fiat, Plymouth, Eagle, Alfa Romeo, AMC, Honda, Acura, Nissan, Infiniti, Datsun, Hyundai, Kia, Volkswagen, Audi, Bentley, Lamborghini, and Subaru. Basically, most of the cars that we have in the United States, but when you take a look at the cars that aren't on the list, BMW, Mercedes, I don't see Audi on here anywhere, I don't see Mini on here anywhere. Rolls-Royce is a little bit out of the park, but it's not on here either. What's the same about all of those cars? Other than Mini, they're all German cars. Now, Volkswagen is on this list, but they're garbage. But if you have any of those cars, check your emails, check your junk files or your trash bin. You might have something in there that has something to do with a recall. And I know it's ridiculous because all those cars that we mentioned that were not on the list are ranging from anywhere between $60,000 and $90,000. Ridiculous amounts of money, and you get the same stuff that you would in a Toyota Camry, but they're on the list. So what do? I would assume all of these cars have something in common. Airbags. There's this little company in Japan, it's called Takata, and they make airbags. And last week we were talking about the new Elio three-wheeled car, and on their website it says that Takata is a big part of the car. We learned that it's a very, very tiny car, but has a very wide wheelbase up front to prevent it from rolling over. But in the event of a rollover crash, it has side curtain airbags, of course the airbag in the steering wheel, probably one down by your legs, maybe in the seatbelt as well. Takata, that's all theirs. But when it comes to the General Motors cars that we were mentioning a little while ago, Buick, Cadillac, and so on, their airbags have defects. The Cadillac Escalade was a big-time contender in the Going Wrong episode when it came to GM, and that was one of their biggest problems. The airbags weren't inflating all the way in the event of a crash. People, just check your email and make sure there's no recalls with your car. Now, I am kind of excited about this, and it's really not something that I need to be excited about. I was doing a little bit of research about how long a fuel filter should last in a car, and it varies from here to there depending on branding or what kind of car you have, what kind of fuel you're putting through it, and things like that. But when it comes down to it, 3 years. A couple of weeks ago, I got my car fixed in Crossville, Tennessee, and the mechanic told me something that was very strange. It was sort of an, oh my gosh, you're kidding me moment, because they replaced the fuel pump, and without asking me, they replaced the fuel filter as well. Very glad they did. Don't ask me how, because I don't know. It was the original one, 25 years old. Now, the sticker back on my car in 1989 said that I would get 20 miles per gallon in the city and 25 on the highway. The highway is still accurate, but my city driving is not that great. I think I might accelerate a little bit too fast. I like the sound of a V8. Give me a break. But with the new fuel filter, now I'm noticing that it's getting a lot better gas mileage. It went from 13 miles per gallon to 17 in a snap, which is pretty close, to the sticker. Monitor your vehicles, ladies and gentlemen. Always get that fuel filter changed every now and then. It's like running with bad oil. The car will run, but not very well. And you get grime buildup, which is bad. Switch gears a little bit and talk about Toyota. But first, let's take a look at the United States. Back in 2005, Ford brought out the new Mustang with a throwback edition that kind of made it look like it did in the 60s. Love it. Dodge did the same thing with the Challenger, but they ruined the Charger and the Dart. Chevy really never did anything with the throwback thing, but now look at Toyota. The Landcruiser is celebrating its 30th birthday, and Yoder, they're bringing back the original. One of the greatest, most reliable, and solid vehicles in the world, the Toyota Landcruiser. Obviously, a hefty four-wheel drive system is going to be packed into this thing, along with a 5-speed manual transmission, but steering wheel's on the right-hand side. Doesn't look like we're getting this one in the States. But anyway, happy 30th birthday, and I guess I'll keep my fingers crossed. Hope to see one in the States sometime soon. Wrapping things up here for MotorCast this week. Thanks for swinging by, WBKR.com. It's brought to you each and every week by Diesel Up, Next Level Diesel Performance at 3247 Commerce Drive in Newburgh. Check them out online and check out their inventory that they make in-house. Diesel-up.com. And take your trucks out there. They would love to see you. Once again, 3247 Commerce Drive in Newburgh, Indiana. We'll see you next week.